Hello, welcome to Modules 2, Lesson 7 of our CASP Plus course. This lesson is going to focus on incident response, covering the following topics, like incident response planning, incident response processes, and the response methods. So any size of firm needs to have an efficient incident response plan for cybersecurity. It can be a legal necessity for regulated sectors to have adequate strategies and procedures in place to lessen the harm brought on by any security-related incidents. For government agencies and contractors, FISMA, or the Federal Information Security Management Act, places very rigorous requirements on the existence of suitable strategies. These specifications giving the U.S. Computer Emergency Readiness Team, or USCERT, at least 2 points of contact for reporting needs. Effective incident response planning is provided for federal agencies and commercial companies in the NIST SP 861 Publication Computer Security Incident Handling Guide. It's critical to identify team members, team leaders, and an escalation mechanism while creating a strategy. Since we cannot forecast when an incident will happen, it is important to make sure that the staff is ready around the clock. Participation of stakeholders is crucial during plan development. Working with business units like human resources and consuming with legal counsel will be crucial, since they may provide advice on the viability of the plan for disciplining employees. The NIST SP 800-61 documentation, which is accessible at this specific website, right, provides extensive recommendations on these. So let's access this link. Okay, right, so you can just download this PDF file on that specific website. So another thing to consider is event classification. So there's actually numerous techniques for locating suspicious or harmful events, and we can benefit from automated tools such as SIEM or IDSs. In order to spot threats early, we can also rely on manual detection and effective security awareness training of our workers. First responders and service desk technicians can both be proficient at spotting harmful activity. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security created the Common Attack Pattern Enumeration and Classification, or CAPAC, right? So this means Common Attack Pattern Enumeration and Classification. It is used to offer the public a database of known attack patterns. There are numerous references for various attack vectors and can be found through this specific database. So let's access this link just to show you what it has. Okay, latest version, reports, archive. There you go. Yep, you can just download all of this, right? Okay. Next, triage event. It's also important to evaluate the nature and gravity of the occurrence that has taken place. The effort that has been done to determine what has transpired can be viewed as triage. This phrase is taken from a triage process used in ERs, or emergency rooms, to decide what has to be corrected for a patient. This makes it possible to decide on the team members who must respond, as well as the suitable response to the urgency. Understanding the systems that are essential to business operations is vital because they must be given priority. If a business impact analysis, or BIA, right, has been conducted, this information is typically available. Mission-critical services and their significance to the organization will be identified by BIA. It is crucial to avoid focusing on the first-come, first-served principle because there will only be a limited amount of resources available to handle the problem. Okay. Now let's talk about the incident response processes. So there's actually 6 unique phases that make up the incident response procedure. Each of these steps is critical and needs to be finished before continuing. These separate phases are depicted on this image, right, which contains preparation, detection, analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery, and the lessons learned documentation. All right, now let's talk about each of these phases on the next few slides. First one is preparation, right? So to ensure a solid security posture is in place while preparing for an IRP or incident response planning, it is a good practice to harden systems and remediate security vulnerabilities. It is difficult to strengthen the enterprise's resilience during the planning stage by concentrating on all the likely attack vectors. The following are some of the things that should be completed to get your business ready for attacks, like perform risk assessments, harden host systems, secure networks, deploy anti-malwares, and implement user awareness training. It is crucial to recognize difficult attack vectors, even though it is nearly difficult to anticipate every potential attack vector. Common ones can be listed and included in playbooks. The preparatory phase will improve our security posture. Next is detection. So here, we need to find abnormal activity in order to respond to a security problem. Unauthorized software, external media email attachment, and denial of service attacks, equipment theft, and impersonation are just few examples of the different attack vectors that can be employed. So we need to be able to recognize fresh and developing threats: IDP, SIEM, antivirus, anti-spam, FIM software or file integrity monitoring software, DLP technologies, data loss prevention technologies, and third-party monitoring services are examples of common techniques. So unusual activity can also be found using logs from important services and network flows like NetFlow and SFlow. And when responding to user calls, first responders like service desk technicians might also be able to confirm IOCs or indicators of compromise. When such security-related incidents are discovered, we must investigate the situation to formulate a reaction. Next is analysis. Of course, right, not all security events or automatic alerts that are reported are malicious. Unexpected user behavior or mistakes could lead to erroneous reporting. And at this point, it's important to rule out typical or malevolent events. When a security-related event is reported erroneously, it may lead to false positives, where this is where an event is treated as malicious or threatening activity but turns out it's benign, and also false negatives, and this is when a malicious event is considered non-threatening and no subsequent action is taken when there's really a threat, right? So this false positive and false negative. So the right diagnosis should be reached when the proper instruments and investigative procedures are used, leading to the following, like true positives. This one. So this means that an event has been identified as malicious and the appropriate action can be taken. And the true negatives. So this means that an event has been correctly identified as non-threatening and no remedial action needs to be taken. All right, so issue tracking systems, which should be easily accessible to IRT members, should be used to record the incident response procedure. Information that should be included in this application database is depicted in this specific image. Right? Next is containment. So for various incidents, right, containment techniques must be developed. When a crypto malware assault or attack or quickly propagating worm occurs, the appropriate course of action is often to quickly isolate the compromised systems or network section. The strategy may involve establishing a remote triggered black hole or RTBH or collaborating with an ISP that provides DDoS mitigation services if the attack is a DOS or DDoS conducted against internet-facing application servers. So in this figure, right, it illustrates the factors to take into account when formulating containment strategies. Some containment tactics may entail conducting more investigation of an attack while keeping activity contained within a sandbox. Next is eradication and recovery. So before the recovery procedure can start after the incident has been contained, it might be required to remove harmful software or accounts. Hardware replacement, software configuration, and backup restoration may all be necessary for recovery. Access to documentation such as implementation manuals, configuration manuals, and hardening checklist is crucial. Usually, the disaster recovery plan contains this information, or the DRP. And the last one is lessons learned. So after action report, which enables process involvement, is a crucial component of the incident response procedure. At this point, it's important to discuss what went well or poorly. Within days of the incident, the team should complete this portion of the exercise. As you will see here, right, this figure, right, that allows to outline some of the problems that could result from an exercise in lessons learned. So lessons learned will help us determine what IRP enhancements is going to be required. All right, and next is our response methods. So it's also critical to prepare for as many potential outcomes as you can. Ransomware, data exfiltration, social engineering, and DDoS are just a few examples of typical scenarios. An organization can use a variety of resources to get ready for common circumstances. NIST, for instance, documents various incident handling scenarios in an appendix to NIST SP 800-61. Okay, so here we will need to develop both human and automatic answers when thinking about reaction actions. So there's actually two types, by the way, of response method, right? The non-automated and the automated. So let's talk about the non-automated first. So clear documentation, including CMDB, network diagrams, escalation procedures, and contact list, should be included if manual intervention is necessary. All the activities must be recorded and documented if the incident type has never been seen before, in order to establish a playbook for the future. So in terms of playbooks, by providing security experts with a set of tests and procedures to go through common security situations, playbooks can be utilized to respond to an event. This can greatly speed up reaction times and help keep the crisis under control. A playbook designed to assist in handling a malware issue is depicted in this specific illustration. Playbooks are highly helpful since they offer a step-by-step list of procedures for dealing with common incident scenarios. Now let's talk about an automated method called SOAR, or Security Orchestration and Response. So an organization can discover dangers, right, or risk using advanced detection techniques with the help of SOAR, and then employ orchestration to counter them. We can quickly find IOCs or indicators of compromise and set up a reaction or response using tools like SIEM. Runbooks may be used for semi-automation in the response, or it may be entirely automated. Using visual tools and scripts, orchestration enables the definition of complicated activities. As you will see here on this diagram, right, it shows the workflow of an SOAR. So currently a variety of vendor solutions are available to coordinate security responses. Let's talk about the last topic, which is communication plan. So effective stakeholder management requires a communication plan. Numerous external entities may need to interface with the incident response team, so it's crucial to list them all in the IRP. So in this image displays a few instances of this gathering, of what we gathered, right? It is crucial to think through an organization's public relations strategy before the necessity to deal with reporting to news outlets occurs. Rules of engagement should be set. Investigative tools are required for incident response in order to determine whether an incident is actually occurring and to gather data for legal response. Computer forensics will be utilized in the methods and tools that are employed. Okay, so this is our communication plan. All right, that's the end of the lesson. In this lesson, we spoke about IRP, or incident response planning, incident response processes, and the response methods. Okay, again, thank you very much for watching the video.